It's News 360 live from our news hub here at Adesawe, Kanda in Accra.
And I am
News 360
of latest as vacant grows.
Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, University Teachers Association of Ghana, and strike.
Also coming up tonight, the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, calls for decentralization of hosting teachers to public schools.
And in international news, early voting ongoing in half of all 50 U.S. states as the 2024 presidential election is a little more than 2 weeks away.
We've got details of these and many more stories coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can join us with your views, comments, and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on X. Now, the decision by the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, to declare 4 seats vacated and the subsequent order from the Supreme Court for the Speaker to reverse that decision has heightened anxiety. Now, with claims of constitutional violations and accusations of political maneuvering, lawmakers are bracing up for a critical session on Tuesday, October 22. Will the Speaker uphold the Supreme Court's directive, or will a constitutional clash unfold? Here's a news desk report.
After the minority petitioned the Speaker on Tuesday, October 15, to declare the 4 seats vacant in line with Article 97, Clause 1G and H of the 1992 Constitution, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, delivered his ruling on Thursday, October 17.
These MPs cannot be allowed by law and my good self to continue to pretend to be representing people that they don't believe in and they don't have any loyalty for.
The leader of the NPP caucus in Parliament, Alexander Apenyo-Markin, on Friday, through an ex-parte motion at the Supreme Court, secured an overturning of the Speaker's ruling. Alexander Apenyo-Markin noted that he expects the Speaker of Parliament to adhere to the Supreme Court's decision.
The rights of those MPs have been reinforced, as well as the rights of those constituents who elected them. I will leave the Ghanaian public to peruse the full ruling of the court, and then the discussions can continue.
But speaking on key points, Bako Central Member of Parliament, Mahama Yariga, noted that the 5-member Supreme Court panel violated the 1992 Constitution.
The Supreme Court, constituted by these 5 judges, had violated provisions of Article 115 and 122 of the Constitution, which provisions say that no one shall interfere with the proceedings of Parliament. How does the Supreme Court turn itself into a political organization to supervise the exercise of the political actions of political actors in the legislature?
He questioned the narrative that the matter was one of human rights.
If it is a human rights matter, whose right was violated? Was it Apenyo-Markin's right? Does Apenyo-Markin come from any of those constituencies? Is Apenyo-Markin one of the members of Parliament? If he is not from that constituency, has his right to be represented been violated by anybody? The people of SAL did not have representation for 4 years. The Supreme Court was not bothered.
A former director of the Ghana School of Law, Kwaku Ansah Sari, described the actions of the Supreme Court as amounting to constitutional lawlessness.
Parliament under Article 122 has contempt powers. Just as the Superior Court of Judicature also has contempt powers. Now, what the 5 justices did yesterday amounted to contempt of Parliament and hold them. So what the Supreme Court did yesterday was needless. It has created a situation of constitutional lawlessness.
Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu expressed concern about the speed with which the Supreme Court directed the Speaker of Parliament to reverse its decision to have 4 seats vacated.
You find very senior lawyers who say, hey, where is the Supreme Court taking us to? So you see, with the way the Supreme Court is gone about this, they are giving people the opportunity to say things that we've always shied away from saying, that it is a political organization.
Government spokesperson on governance and security, Dr. Palgrave Boachidankwa, contended that the minority in Parliament was merely rushing to become the majority.
What would take place on Tuesday is that the majority in Parliament, led by the majority leader, the Honorable Afenyo Makin, will lead the side of the House to sit at the majority side, whilst the minority, led by Atoforsen, will sit at the minority side, because we run a constitutional supremacy in this country.
Political science professor at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, warned of the consequences of the different arms of government interfering in each other's affairs.
Parliament, being a master of its own processes, must find its own ways to address some of these challenges. We cannot upset the balance of power that exists between the arms of government in a manner that makes Parliament subservient to the judicial arm of government and to the executive. The judicial arm of government absolutely has no powers to gag the functioning of Parliament.
He predicted a confrontation between the legislative and judicial arms of government in the coming days. Parliament will resume sitting on Tuesday, October 22, and it will be observed whether or not the Speaker will enforce the order from the Supreme Court.
This is your Election Command Center. Let's now bring you some election-related stories. New Patriotic Party presidential candidate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has taken a jibe at the opposition National Democratic Congress in Parliament over what he called their 24-hour majority. Addressing the Bawumia Community Connect program in Nkoko in the Eastern region on Saturday, Dr. Bawumia expressed confidence in the NPP's chances of securing a decisive victory in the December 7 general elections, both in the presidential race and in Parliament.
So, here pass yet to abanoma Dr. Bawumia, but here more. So say to Abamano Emma Joseph Frimpong, because you pay parliamentary majority. And yes, sir, you call Munim said a TSCR, Omo Hayeno. 137. Enra echi omuyi adie bi wo Parliament kase omuni majority semotiye anyway omuya 24 hours majority anje bia baby 24-hour majority na omunyaye, the shortest living majority that I know of in history. 24-hour majority na omunyaye. Now at the end, I want to say, me person mo tie say, who per majority come to the polling station, come to the constituency, win an election, and then go to Parliament. You untina Parliament to manufacture a majority for yourself. And yes, sir, we will meet them in the constituencies. We will meet them at the polling stations. And what I can assure you, from what I know, over 200 constituencies. I've campaigned on the ground. I've seen the data. And I can tell you, sir, Yato Abano Enea MPP will have a decisive majority in Parliament. There's no doubt about it. Yatuabano and MPP will have a decisive majority. Not a majority, but a decisive majority in Parliament. Now, on December 7th. Now, by midnight on December 7th, Munyina Betty said MPP has a decisive majority in Parliament. No bones about it. We will win at the polling stations. We will win at the polling stations. Enti Munyina Muntu Abanumai.
And with less than 50 days to the December 7 elections, independent presidential candidate John Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen is asking for the support of Ghanaian electorates to break the NPP and NDC duopoly. Now, addressing supporters and sympathizers in Kumasi, Alan Kyerematen says he is the change the country desires to turn things around and bring relief to Ghanaians.
Campaign activities among all political parties and movements have gained momentum as the 2024 election draws closer. The Alliance for Revolutionary Change has for weeks been touring 350 communities in 47 constituencies in the Ashanti region. The political group is convinced that securing overwhelming votes in the region will brighten its chances of winning the presidential election. The movement staged what it calls Victory Walk in Kumasi to energize its base towards a historic win in the upcoming December 7 elections. Leader and presidential candidate of the group, Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, says the arrogance of power is what is derailing Ghana's development, hence the need for a change.
We are looking for a transformational leader. It is not about MPP. It is not about NDC. It is about Ghana. It is about an individual who has the vision, the competence, the capacity, and the capacity for action.
Alan and his team entreated electorates to vote against the ruling New Patriotic Party and opposition National Democratic Congress for failing the country. Is Ghana for only NDC and MPP? If not, then it is time we show them the exit. We need a better alternative that will make things better. When it's time for an election, monies meant for development are hoarded and used to buy votes. The advice I'll give you is that if they bring the money and you know you are in need, take it and still vote against them.
Yeah, the brown. Now watch though. I want you to know. I'm on at the bio. Nasa Usha. Now on to me do also. Miss Rao. JD.
Leadership of the Alliance for Revolutionary Change says both the MPP and the NDC have not done enough to better the lives of Ghanaians after 32 years of governance. Hence, they need to ditch them and give Alan a chance to restore hope in Ghana. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Let's now take you to the camp of the NDC, where the party's presidential candidate is alleging that the growing insecurity in the country is primarily because government has failed to adequately invest and retool the security agencies. Speaking in Teshi on his campaign tour, John Mahama assured the police and other security agencies of giving them adequate tools to work with and will respond timeously in crime prevention.
Maybe NDC wabemu ya bambo for ya police for military fire service prisons immigration, omunyina, NDC na eboa omo, ede enyoma omo here, ede yomo juma, yetimi dema omo. When NDC was in power, we did the biggest retooling of all the security services. The Air Force, we bought them helicopters, we bought them aeroplanes. The military, we bought them transport vehicles, we bought them armored cars. The police, we bought them armored cars, and we gave them the largest fleet of vehicles in history. 1,000 vehicles were given to the police service. Since then, there's been no major retooling of the security services. So you go to a police station and you call the police because armed robbers have come to your house and they don't have a vehicle at the police station. And you don't expect that they'll go and hire a taxi and say they're going to fight armed robbers. And so when NDC comes, we're going to retool the security services. We're going to give them vehicles. We're going to give them bulletproof vests so that they can protect us. Because if you take them as security officers and you don't give them the instruments with which to do their job, how can they do their job? So in our manifesto, we have indicated that we're going to retool our security services. We're going to give them the vehicles, the bulletproof vests, the weapons, the armored vehicles, so that they can fight the armed robbery menace that we are currently facing.
Meanwhile, the NDC vice presidential candidate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, says their political opponents do not have any message. Now, speaking in the Bono East region, she said in 8 years, the NPP only boasts of free SHS, which she says has been poorly implemented.
What kind of mess is this? We want our children to get good education, not the type that children will go to school for a few weeks and stay at home for 3 months. What are they learning? Things have become very expensive, and the only thing this government boasts of is free SHS. Let us advise ourselves as a nation. Buying goods to sell has become difficult for most traders, so we have to change the government. A lot of people need help in all sectors of the economy, and not just the education sector.
In some more politics tonight, New Patriotic Party presidential candidate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been campaigning in the Bono East region, where he visited the Pru East and Kintampo North constituencies.
Pre-mixed fuel. Pre-mixed fuel. Maybe she share for ever. The outboard motors for ever. And here, pre-mixed fuel. We'll use solar power. Solar power. I feel ready. Mumboyan Namumfa Isaac Bafo Mayor Embra Parliament. Yaye Jumano, Mudi Member of Parliament Ba, Yabeya Kaho, Muwo Ejuma Bebria Ehiamu Enyesa. Usha mi wan shisha Bebria Swa, me pesa medeba. Na ye buaye nyina. Usha Equiafo na me pesa mebebua. Equiafo ene Ghana. Usha Ghana beko enima jese Equiafo omoyeyi. Me pesa me bua Equiafo. Me pesa me di sika ene efidie ene technology ebeta Equiafo echi. said yedi efidie ama district bia ebe ya kwaino yedi agricultural equipment efidie ebe boy kuyafo ema every district tractors, combined harvesters, planters, nadia, every district will have a share of agricultural equipment. Now,
A reminder is to watch News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. Keep your comments coming in on our social media feed on Facebook and Instagram, as well as on X. We're happy to share them with the rest of the world. Now, one constituency to look out for in the December 7 general election is Walewale, located in the Northeast region. This constituency is where Vice President and the NPP presidential candidate, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, hails from. But with recent tensions following the NPP parliamentary primaries, will the party be able to retain the seat, or will the National Democratic Congress snatch it away? Correspondent Solomon Kwame Kanaluwe has been finding out more.
Both the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress are locked in a fierce contest for control of parliamentary seats in the Northeast region. The atmosphere, especially in the Walewale constituency, is charged with anticipation, and both parties are deploying strategies to sway the voters.
The message of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, aptly captured in the manifesto of this election, for me, is the panacea for all the economic, social, and political challenges that the people of Walewale constituency are facing.
There is no individual, except the mayor, who stand as Walewale to His Excellency the Vice President. He has done what no single person has been able to do for us. And it's important we celebrate that man. It's important we show respect. It's important we show appreciation. It's important we acknowledge that he is a gift to my people and to the world.
The NPP finds itself navigating the aftermath of internal strife regarding the selection of its parliamentary candidate. The incumbent Member of Parliament, Hajia Laribazwera, who has represented the party in the Walewale constituency, was challenged in the parliamentary primaries by Dr. Kabiru Tia. Ultimately, Dr. Kabiru secured the nomination. The Walewale constituency has historically been a stronghold for the NPP, having won the seat for 3 consecutive terms. Despite the stronghold, internal party dynamics pose a challenge.
The mission of our former MP, Honorable Hajia Larba, is as a result of her work tight due schedule. That is why she was not able to come out. But looking at the numbers, all the people on her camp was present.
The initial dispute over the parliamentary candidacy have created tensions that could impact voter perception. Adding a layer of complexity to the NPP's campaign is the fact that its presidential candidate, Dr. Bawumia, hails from Walewale.
You say Bawumia is our own brother. Bawumia is our own brother. It's our own. Bawumia is a non-member. Bawumia didn't care about us. What do you see there? What do you came there? What do you see there? My problem is, if Dr. Bawumia become a president, can he investigate his own people? No.
While both parties are keen to demonstrate unity, constituents are still waiting to see a concerted effort from Kabiru and his rival during the parliamentary primaries, Hajia Laribazwera.
The parliamentary candidate for the NDC has been a grassroots man since 2012. And then when you look at his recent performance as far as the 2020 elections is concerned, he nearly won the seat from the MPP. And then I think considering the current economic situation, it's also going to play a major role on the 7th December election.
Our former MP, Honorable Hajia Larba, is united with our newly elected parliamentary candidate, that is Honorable Alhaji Dr. KB Mahama. We are united and we are very strong to fight for the common cause for His Excellency Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia.
The absence of Hajia Larba at recent events, including a peace walk intended to showcase solidarity, raises eyebrows about the party's internal cohesion.
Despite the fact that Bawumia himself is coming from Walewale, and that is the West Mamprosi district, we have
3 branches. I mean 3 polling stations. MPP won 2 and we won 1. People are thinking that once he's coming within Walewale and therefore they have everything. No, the electorates, they know what is happening. And I'm assuring you, this time, if he doesn't take his time, even where he votes, he's going to lose.
2025, your brother shall be the president of this republic.
Can the NPP convince voters of their stability and vision for the future? Or will the NDC's narrative of change resonate more strongly with the constituents? Voters in Walewale constituency will decide on December 7th.
Let's now turn our attention to education. And Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, Professor Ahmed Jinapor, is calling on the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, to call off their strike. Speaking at the 14th congregation of the Accra College of Education, he explained the Ghana tertiary education system is an enviable one that need not to be jeopardized. Judith Brown has more.
The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, has announced an indefinite strike which began on October 10, 2024 in protest against illegal mining and prospecting activities in forest reserves, farmlands and water bodies. This strike raises concerns about potential disruptions to the academic calendar. In a press release on Thursday, October 17, UTAG called on the government to immediately prosecute individuals arrested for illegal mining activities. The association emphasized the need for swift and decisive action to deter further illegal mining. Among its demands, UTAG is urging the government to expedite the parliamentary revocation of LI 2462 to curb mining in forest reserves. However, the Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, Professor Ahmed Jinapor, commenting on the strike, stressed the importance of maintaining academic stability.
We therefore wish to call on all unions under the ambit of GTEC to use dialogue and discourse as the avenue for resolving all grievances. Strike, being the last resort, should not be evoked at the slightest opportunity. Ghana has an enviable, relatively guaranteed tertiary educational structure that needs not jeopardize. It is on this note that I use this platform to call on our colleague UTAG members to, as a matter of urgency, call off their ongoing strike, notwithstanding their legitimate calls for the end of galamsey in this country.
He pointed out that the strike is not the only issue troubling Ghana's education sector. Professor Ahmed Jinapor highlighted concerns over the proliferation of honorary doctorates, which raises questions about the legitimacy of these awards.
Placement concerns have been raised by the unions, specifically CTAG and CENSA. Migration of such magnitude is not an event. As the good book says, to whom much is given, much is expected. We expect staff to remain committed and dedicated to the work they are doing to promote teaching and learning at the colleges of education.
His remarks come in response to the Deputy Minister of Education's request for the Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, to strengthen its regulation of doctoral titles in the country, aiming to maintain academic integrity and prevent the misuse of the esteemed titles. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
You're still watching News 360. Still to come in the bulletin tonight. Friends and family members of Mami Jumo Boateng, one of the 2 children killed in the East Legon accident, has been laid to rest.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo Paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo Paint, simply
Fellow countrymen and women, the desperate NPP, realizing that they are losing the 2024 elections, has once again resorted to lies to smear the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The NPP's claim that Mahama was against free SHS and will cancel it when elected is nothing but a barefaced lie calculated to deceive you. John Mahama started the implementation of the progressively free SHS program in 2015 with day students and had a clear plan to expand the program to cover borders, hence cannot be said to be against free SHS. What he has been against is the poor implementation of the program. Contrary to the lies of the NPP, the next NDC Mahama government will improve the implementation of the free SHS program to make it better. We will do this by scrapping the double track system, provide a dedicated source of funding for the program, include private SHS, improve the feeding of our children, and enhance the quality of learning outcomes. Listen to the truth from the horse's own mouth.
Free senior high school education has come to stay. If anybody tells you that I, John Dramani Mahama, son of E.A. Mahama, will abolish free SHS when I come, tell the person he's a bloody liar. What I'm against is the poor implementation of the free SHS, which is creating great inconvenience for the parents, for the students, and for the teachers. And one of the things we'll do when we come back into office, and I know inshallah we're coming back into office, is to complete the 200 community day schools that we began, so that we can bring a quick end to the double track system.
Beware of the NPP's lies. Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
The Ghana Stock Exchange's vision is to be a world-recognized securities market relevant to Ghana and indeed Africa's economic transformation. We are bringing our vision to life by providing platforms for the private sector and public institutions to raise the patient capital necessary to fund their growth.
Listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange exposed MTN Ghana to a much larger market. Typically when companies list on the stock exchange, they're probably looking to raise equity financing for the business. Of course, our motivations were a bit different, and the intention of localization as part of the 4G license was also different. It had more of a developmental objective for Ghanaians to partake in the profits and the success of MTN in Ghana.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
Thanks for staying with us. Now let's bring you that rather sad story. Friends and family members of Mame Jumo Boateng, one of the 2 children killed in the East Legon accident, has been laid to rest. Mame Jumo and Justin Agbenu tragically lost their lives when their car was consumed by flames caused by the collision.
The 2 young girls tragically lost their lives in a car accident on Saturday, October 12, in East Legon. The victims, Justine Agbenu and Mame Jumo, both students of Cornerstone International Academy, were burned beyond recognition after a 16-year-old boy, Elrat Salih from Wakun, lost control of a Jaguar SUV GN 7A0120 and collided with a 4x4 Acura vehicle GR 254223. The collision caused both vehicles to catch fire, trapping the occupants to the Acura. Rescue efforts came too late for the girls inside the Acura, leaving their families and the entire East Legon community in deep mourning.
Following the accident, the Ghana Police Service arrested the parent of Erad, Prophet Elisha Salifu Amwakon, and his wife, Muha Amwakon. Prophet Elisha, his wife Muha, and Linda Bonsubempa, an employee of the other brother of the minor driver, have pleaded not guilty to the charge of permitting an unlicensed person to drive. On Friday, October 18, a vigil was held at the site of the accident in memory of Justine Abenu and Mame Jomo. A family friend of one of the victims, Annette Emefa-Mensah, described 12-year-old Mame Jomo Boateng as loving and affable. She wants justice to be served.
He hasn't got a license. From all indications, it is not good. He has been doing it. It is not the first time. It is not acceptable. It is, nobody is saying anything nice. Okay, and we don't even have to hear anything nice or about this matter. It is what we have seen from this boy's previous videos, and even what his father said in his own video, that he hasn't got a driver's license, that he drives without a number plate, and blah, blah, blah with the police. Imagine.
Earlier today, Saturday, October 19, Mame Jomo's family laid their beloved daughter to rest in a private burial ceremony. The pain of the loss continues to weigh heavily on the hearts of the community, mourning the future taken from these two young girls. As investigations continue and the legal process unfolds, the families and the East Legon community remain united in their grief, seeking justice for Justine and Mame.
May their souls rest in perfect peace. The Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, in the northern region is calling for a paradigm shift in the centralized policy of posting teachers. My colleague Stanley Neblewo reports that teachers posted to schools, especially in the hinterlands of the region, struggle to teach effectively due to language barriers.
Teaching and learning in some rural schools in northern Ghana have never been impactful for many years. Stakeholders in education in the region have blamed the development on high teacher deficit in basic schools. Also, the centralized policy of posting teachers by the Ghana Education Service from Accra directly to schools in the districts has also worsened the already bad situations in the schools, as the language barrier makes it difficult for teachers to freely interact with the pupils during contact hours. Idrisu Habib has been posted to the Nebugbini Primary School in the Gushegu district of the northern region. He is the only teacher taking care of kindergarten 1 to class 5 pupils in one class.
When you have a bucket and 3 objects are in place as you.
Idrisu does not speak Dagomba, the local language, so the only medium of communication is English, which is also difficult to understand by the pupils. This defeats the Ghana Education Services policy of teaching pupils, especially at the lower primary levels, with the child's L1. The Kufori Primary School in the Yonyo district of the Northeast region suffers similar fates. Here, kindergarten 1 to primary 4 pupils are hosted in 3 classrooms without furniture. There is only one teacher who also does not speak the local language.
So this is also what? Alphabets. These are also what? Numbers we use. If you want to speak English, if you don't know this, you can't speak English.
He sometimes relies on community members to interpret academic lessons for the pupils.
As a teacher, whatever you are posted to, you have to go. That's where your service is needed. But on a thought, when you're sending a teacher to a school, you have to consider a lot of factors before you send that teacher. One, I'm a Dagati. I understand Gonja, I understand Mampusi, I understand Dagomba. You understand that? I even understand Mwal, that's Bimoba. In our language, their language, they call it Lekpankpal, that's Kunkumba. It's also there. But these people speak Lekpankpal, which I don't understand. And all the language that I can speak, they can also speak. They only speak Kunkumba in this community. So I will not say it's a wrong posting, but just that it's not easy with me.
Abdullah Seydou, a native of Tamale, was posted by the Ghana Education Service, GES, to Gadokope in the Kwewu Afram Plains South District of the Eastern Region. The dominant local language here is Ewe, but Sedu and another colleague do not understand or speak Ewe, which limits their ability to effectively communicate with the pupils. The Northern Regional Chairman of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, Atalongia, wants the policy regarding teacher postings from a central point reviewed.
They should stop posting teachers direct to schools from headquarters. They should stop it. Look, when they finish, they should send the bulk teachers to the regions. The regions will send them to the districts. The districts know where they will send the teachers. How can you post somebody from Accra to come to this place? Let us be frank to ourselves. Then you send somebody from here to Afram Plains. So we should begin to decentralize some of these policies to the lower level for those people who are there to implement and supervise it well.
He noted that pupils, when facing difficulties while in school, cannot express themselves to their teachers due to language barriers. For these teachers, a learning environment where they can give of their best to impact their pupils must be a priority of the employer, the Ghana Education Service. As a result, they are proposing that the GES should consider posting teachers to communities where language will not affect their work. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Northern Ghana.
In the quest to achieve a transformative journey towards an enhanced customer experience, GCB Bank PLC has launched the customer experience campaign dubbed Go Beyond. There's more in this report.
As part of its customers' experience campaign, GCB Bank PLC hosted a dynamic workshop designed to empower customers in the micro and small enterprises MSE segment of its retail banking division. The event commenced with a health screening session, followed by a training program that addressed various facets of business management, finance and technology by KPMG. The executive head of retail at GCB Bank, Mr. Sena Kamagate, highlighted some bottlenecks within the MSEs.
The session, this workshop, is to help take our customers through how to keep records, which is very, very important. Also, to take them through how they can work around their tax and then file the relevant taxes. And more importantly, to create the platform for them to network. Because what you have seen here today are various vendors, various sellers. And so it gives a value chain opportunity for people who work in the ecosystem to be able to network.
To demonstrate its steadfast support for customers and Ghana's micro, small, medium enterprises, MSMEs, the GCB's value-added package, VAP, was launched.
What GCB is saying is that for customers who bank with us and actually send in regular deposit through our e-collectors, we are going to sign them on an insurance package. They don't need to pay any premium. Keep an average deposit balance of 50,000 minimum, and then we sign you up. What is in it for you when we sign you up? You get to be indemnified 20,000 Ghana cedis should your wares be destroyed by fire.
Now, GB Foods, producers of Gino Rice, has introduced the Gino Jollof Tomato Mix into the market. The latest product provides convenience in cooking jollof.
The Gino Jollof Tomato Seasoning Mix is crafted from a blend of spices and herbs, including tomatoes, peppers, onions, garlic, ginger, and other traditional spices. This product offers jollof lovers a delicious and authentic flavor for family gatherings and special occasions. The director of sales at GB Foods, Samuel Derry, emphasizes that their company is dedicated to producing food products that not only cater to Ghanaian taste but also enhance the well-being of customers.
One of the key things consumers have called out is that it takes them a long time to prep for their jollof and to get a consistent jollof base. And so we came up with this product to make sure that we continue to nourish and empower Ghanaians to enjoy their favorite meals, which is jollof. And we are very grateful to our consumers who have always been with us through the thick and thin.
A distributor, Michael Lejay, said the Gino Jollof Mix is in high demand due to its quality and spicy flavor.
We've been with GB Foods for years now, and they've always come with quality product. And Gino Jollof is one quality product that when we started selling, the response has been very good. I would love that all consumers, customers and wholesalers patronize it, because it's a product that quality is good, that they'll be happy selling it.
In some more news this evening, Deeper Life Bible Church has resumed its annual National Campus Community Congress as Profiedru in the Ashanti region. Congress was put on hold due to the COVID-19 outbreak 4 years ago.
The founder and leader of the Deeper Life Bible Church, Pastor Dr. F.W. Kumuyi, initiated the Campus Community Congress at the University of Lagos in Nigeria in 1973. This initiative is to nurture God-fearing students with high moral values to positively impact society. In Ghana, the annual National Campus Community Congress has been held since the 1970s, continuing until 2020, when it was suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. National Overseer of the Deeper Life Bible Church, Pastor Edward Kweku Dodu, highlighted that the world has experienced unprecedented changes and shifts in morality, integrity, and social values, challenging the very foundations of our faith.
Corruption, greed, and wickedness have become entrenched in many aspects of our world. Young people, the future leaders of our generation, must rise up with integrity, purity, and Christ-like values to counter this plague.
The director of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, Gimpa Academy of Leadership and Executive Training, Professor Charles Amoate, urged the youth to actively work to maintain peace in Ghana during the 2024 general elections.
Elections are the cornerstone of democracy, but they should not become an avenue for unrest or division. Do not allow yourselves, young men and women, to be used by individuals, political parties, or factions to disturb the peace of our dear nation.
This is News 360. Stay with us for some more news. Don't go away.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Take one container ya 40 to 50 pesos and not 20 Ghana. And adanchini olonka do 30 Ghana. Adai, o my buy money away.
What was our casa? Me show din. Sha, dokura me di 20 Ghana. Ah me pay kura me 15 Ghana cedi a day. O my buy ni ewo mi. Ya call ya na ti yesan buy.
Sha, enye duane bo nko an ne kosuru. John Dramani Mahama time. Submit one bag. Me 24 Ghana cedis. Min konkoto Smith one bagger. You see, 108 CDs. I don't know what beton saying. It is to say, who see Dania? Say, and I'll be say, John Dramani Mahama Bama Gia. You be wo.
Yanya Bibia from Wakombe.
I'll come in the end queen. You better fire one drink. Then people are buying. What dear more Ankasa?
Media minimum how. Na media. Measure my system. Number 12.
And your sanity, dear. A year kufu adone ni ba wo mia nyame ya dom ne se December 7 dura ye be tuo ma se de yutuba
ye be tu ankasa
hwe wasetna moto abapa e de sakra ya papa beba wa brabo mu to abama John Mahama ne NDC.
Want a free bets? You might follow these steps.
You can join 1xBet app. Confirm your participation. You can bet on the correct match score. You can get a free bet every week. 1x free bet. Active bonuses for active players.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years. Gambling can be addictive.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Lishen. Now on to our first story. Mohamed Kudus found the net for West Ham United against Tottenham early on Saturday, but his world came crashing down after receiving a red card during the game. 3 Sports narrated the sequence leading to his early shower. It was one of those Saturdays that went from 100 to 0 for Mohamed Kudus in a flash. In a brilliant first half, he scored the 10th Premier League goal of his career to go level with Asamoah Gyan on the list of Ghanaian goal scorers in the competition. Kudus was ticking all the right boxes for West Ham, but as Tottenham took hold of the game and ran riot with a 4-goal blitz, Mohamed Kudus' afternoon unraveled alongside his team's form. What seemed like an innocuous challenge on Van de Ven resulted in Kudus floored the Dutchman with a head to the face, swung at another player before hitting the Senegalese Pape Sarr in a 30-second melee of absolute madness. He almost got away with a yellow card, but a VAR review changed that to a deserved red card. It is only the second of his professional career. The first came 5 years ago in Denmark. He will now miss 3 games, including what would have been a meeting of old teammates Andre Onana, Anthony and old boss Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. Hopefully, he will learn his lessons from it. Still on Ghanaian players abroad, Ghana international Iñaki Williams was in blistering form when Athletic Bilbao defeated Espanyol to secure victory in La Liga. The Black Stars forward inspired his outfit to a resounding 4-1 win over Espanyol after scoring twice in the second half, sparking a strong display for the host. Ghana international Jordan Ayew climbed off the bench to inspire Leicester City to victory over Southampton in the English Premier League on Saturday. The former Crystal Palace striker netted an injury-time goal as the Foxes staged an incredible comeback to come from 2 goals down and beat Southampton at the St. Mary's Stadium.
What a win for Leicester City! Jordan Ayew in the 98th minute.
Now, still on the Premier League, Manchester United snapped a 5-game winless run to ease the pressure on manager Erik ten Hag after coming from behind to beat Brentford by 2-1.
United down to 10. And punished. Pinnock with a header. Ball goes to the back post. Excellent ball. Ericsson, lovely flick, Bruno Fernandes. Well, and it's for Manchester United to turn things around.
Now that's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Lishen. But before I do go, hundreds of young athletes who have developed an affinity to NFL got the chance to showcase their talent at the 3rd edition of the NFL Flag Championship, organized by NFL side Philadelphia Eagles and the Ghana American Federation. There's more in this report. Millions of eyes worldwide tuned in to watch the 2024 Super Bowl, with Ghanaians setting their sights on one man, Eko Boydo. From the streets of Accra to making touchdowns on the biggest stage, the Ghanaian has become a beacon of hope for NFL fans in Ghana. This unfamiliar sport has now found fertile grounds in the hearts of over 100 young athletes in Ghana who gathered at this year's Under-12, Under-14 and Under-20 NFL Flag Championship. NFL International Flag Football Development member Ifya Law believe such initiatives could go a long way to shaping the next generation of talents from Ghana.
Year on year, we come back and we see an incredible improvement with the ability of both the teams and the players individually as well. And you can just see that year on year, these players are learning more, they're refining their skills, they're going away and they're practicing, and they're coming back better each year.
It is a sentiment shared by the Vice President of the Ghana American Football Federation, Hamza Luwa Jibril.
The kids are enjoying it. For the past 3 years, some of them are even concentrating on playing flag football other than other soccer and other sports that we know of.
A total of 24 teams battled for supremacy in the 3rd edition of the NFL Flag Championship, but this year's winners were Accra-based under-12 side Al Walid, who came out tops, led by Rafia Mohammed, who was voted MVP, shaking off stern competition from Nima 1 in the final. Team Flagstaff House settled for 3rd place. That's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Lishen. Up next is entertainment.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil, powered by 3 Entertainment.
In entertainment news tonight, Ghanaian reggae and Kuchoko artist Black Rasta is optimistic about earning a nomination for his album Salaga Soldier at the 67th Annual Grammy Awards. The outspoken musician has submitted his 20-track album for consideration in the Best Reggae Album category and is hopeful that this highly authentic project will bring him Grammy glory.
The first song on the album is called Sodom and Gomorrah. Let the fire come. Oja, Kokono, fire, fire, fire. Let the fire come on Sodom and Gomorrah.
Reggae artist Black Rasta has excited music enthusiasts after news broke that his album Salaga Soldier is under consideration for the 67th Grammy Awards.
It's a Kuchoko album. It's a reggae album, yes, but it has a lot of African vibrations in there. For the first time, you hear talking drums, aka dondo, in reggae. You hear xylophone in reggae, kora in reggae, and so many other ancient African instruments and sounds.
Released on March 1, 2024, Salaga Soldier is a live recorded 20-track album performed in English, French, and several African languages. In Jamaica, reviews of the album, which features reggae stars like Anthony B., Tekinja Fakoli and Ghana's King Ayusaba have been positive. Black Rasta vouched for the originality of the album, asserting that it redefines true and authentic reggae.
For Jamaica to come back and say, oh, this album here called Salaga Soldier, coming out of Africa, is resonating the authenticity of reggae music that a lot of people have relegated to the background. For me, it is so exciting. These days, how many people do you see recording live? Go into the studio and your horns are live. Trombone, saxophone, flugel horn, and trumpet on one song. The composition is wonderful, and we worked with 6 different sound engineers. It took us 5 solid years to record this album.
As the Recording Academy gears up to announce nominees for the 67th edition of the Global Awards event, Black Rasta is looking to secure a nomination and further earn Grammy glory.
I'm more than just optimistic that this album is going to win. Now the Grammy celebrates excellence. I don't see any album there that can give Salaga Soldier any competition. It's time for Africa to get a reggae Grammy. This is the album. I need that Grammy to be able to spread the message of Africa like Bob Marley wanted it. This Grammy would appease the soul of Bob Marley. If Bob Marley was here with us physically, he would say that give the Grammy to the African youth.
We wish Black Rasta and his Salaga Soldier music all the best. Now, Ghana's leading music reality show, TV3 Mentor, is set to return with an exciting season after an amazing season 12, which produced some amazing talent on Sunday, October 20, Mentor Season 13 will be launched at 8 p.m. on TV3. Now, the final 16 contestants will be outdoored in addition to a new set, new judges, and new hosts to spice up this year's competition. Don't miss it. Let's now go for some sports of international news.
Early voting has begun in half of all 50 U.S. states as the 2024 presidential election is a little more than 2 weeks away. Republican candidate Donald Trump and Vice President and Democratic candidate Kamala Harris are frantically working to complete their pitches to voters, especially in the 7 swing states that could decide this election. On Saturday, Harris is expected in Michigan and Georgia, while Trump is scheduled to hold rallies in Pennsylvania and North Carolina. The latest poll suggests Harris is a small lead over Trump, but the contest is tighter in the key battlegrounds.
Well, that's all for News 360. Thanks very much for watching. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Pa Kwesi Asari.
And I'm Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Coming up is Showbiz 360. Enjoy.